Okay, take it away, Council President.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to this regular meeting of the Providence City Council. Today is Thursday, December 3rd, 2020. Could you, the clerk, actually the invocation is going to be given by Councilwoman Deputy Majority Leader Mary
We'll
Kay
take
Harris.
attendance first.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about the attendance. I knew I have to go to you. Go to attendance, please.
Council President Matos.
Present.
Councilwoman Anthony.
Present.
Councilwoman Castillo.
Present.
Councilman Correa is
Present.
absent. Oh, sorry, Councilman Correa is present. Councilman Espinal.
Present.
Councilman Goncalves.
Present.
Councilwoman Harris.
Present.
Councilman Igliozzi.
Present.
Councilor Kerwin.
Present.
Councilwoman LaFortune.
Present.
Councilor Miller is absent. Councilman Narducci is absent. Councilwoman Ryan.
Present.
Councilor Salvatore.
Present.
Councilman Taylor.
Here.
You have 13 present and 2 absent. You have a quorum.
Now I should unmute myself now. So we're gonna go to Deputy Majority Leader Harris, who's gonna be giving the invocation tonight.
Thank you. I thank you, Father. Thank you for us being able to gather tonight, Lord. Thank you for your blessings. I ask you to bless us as a nation, Lord. Bless the brokenhearted. Bless the sick and the shut in. The people who are going hungry. Bless them, Lord. The homeless, the jobless, and most of all, the hopeless. And give us strength to endure these troubling times as a team and as leaders, Lord, of the city. We ask you to bless our city hall and bless all our wonderful staff that work so very hard. We ask you to bless them especially, Lord. Lord, we ask you to give us discernment for how we are helping to bring about positive change. Our hearts are with you, Lord, and we ask you to take us through all of the troubling times in this season. I will seal this prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
The Pledge of Allegiance is gonna be led by Chairman Councilman John Igliozzi.
All rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, I would like to ask the solicitor to please state on the record the legality of this meeting.
Yes, City Solicitor Jeffrey Dana. Per executive order of Governor Raimondo, we are permitted to hold this meeting via Zoom.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk.
Approval of minutes. Item 3, Journal of Proceedings number 28 of the regular meeting of the City Council held November 19th, 2020.
Madam President,
Leader Ryan.
motion to approve item 3 on a voice vote.
Second.
Motion has been made a second to approve item number 3 on a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Appointments by His Honor the Mayor. Item 4, communication from His Honor the Mayor dated November 17th, 2020, informing the honorable members of the City Council that pursuant to Section 302B of the Providence Home Rule Charter of 1980 as amended and Public Law Chapter 45-50, Sections 1 through 31 passed in 1987 and Executive Order 2016-1, he is this day appointing Osman Kortav of 51 Olney Street, Providence, Rhode Island, 02906 as an alternate member to the Bike and Pedestrian Advisory Commission for a term to expire on March 30th, 2023.
Receive.
Presentation of ordinance. Item 5. Councilor Salvatore, Councilwoman Anthony, Councilman Espinal, Goncalves, and Councilwoman LaFortune. An ordinance amending Chapter 23, Streets, Sidewalks, and Public Places of the Providence Code of Ordinances to add Article 7, Green and Complete Streets. Are there any additional co-sponsors?
Refer to the committee on ordinance. Oh, was that a hand?
So Kerwin, Councilor Kerwin.
Kerwin. Refer to the committee on ordinance.
Thank you. Presentation of resolutions. Item 6, resolution authorizing the city treasurer and the mayor acting on behalf of the city to issue the refunding bonds for the purposes set forth in the resolution and to take all actions deemed necessary to effect the issuance of refunding bonds. Is currently sponsored by Council President Montos and Councilwoman Anthony. Are there any additional co-sponsors?
Refer to the committee on finance.
Item 7.
Councilwoman LaFortune.
Yeah, I had my hand raised, sorry.
Okay.
To co-sponsor,
Let me
please.
see.
Thank you.
Councilwoman LaFortune.
So noted.
Refer to committee on finance. Yep.
Item 7, Council President Matos. Resolution authorizing approval of the following contract extension award by the Board of Contract and Supply in accordance with Section 21-26B of the Code of Ordinances, AEP On-Site Partners LLC for the Water Supply Board in the amount of $24,846,266.38 for 10 years.
Refer to a committee on finance.
Item 8, a resolution establishing an amnesty program for the Providence Municipal Court. Co-sponsors are Council President Montos, along with Councilwoman Anthony, Councilman Correa, Espinal, Goncalves, and Salvatore. Are there any additional co-sponsors?
Leader Ryan.
Thank you.
Someone? Go ahead, Leader Ryan.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion to amend this resolution at the request of the sponsors to strike the words December 31, 2020 in the now therefore be it resolved clause and insert the words January 31, 2021 in their place and pass this item 8 as amended on a voice vote.
Is there a second?
Second, Madam President.
Thank you. The motion has been made on second, and I have 2 hands up. I have Councilwoman LaFortune.
Thank you, Council President. If the sponsor does not oppose, I would like to co-sponsor as well.
Thank you. And I believe Councilman Taylor wants to co-sponsor, Councilwoman Kerwin, and Harris, Ryan, and I believe Councilwoman Castillo also. See her hands up.
Yes.
So the motion has been made on second, and just the motion is to make the amendment as stated by Leader Ryan and to approve as amended on a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Madam President, I'm going to abstain on this item.
Mr. Clerk, did you get that?
Yes, so noted. Yep.
Thank you.
Item 9, resolution regarding food insecurity in Rhode Island. This is currently sponsored by Council President Matos, along with Councilwoman Ryan, Councilman Goncalves, Councilwoman Harris, Councilman Correa, Councilwoman Anthony, Councilman Espinal, Councilwoman LaFortune, Councilman Narducci, and Councilman Salvatore.
Madam
Any
President.
additional co-sponsors?
Sorry.
I think Councilwoman Castillo,
Yes.
Chairman Igliosi, Councilman Taylor, Councilor Kerwin. I believe I got everybody. Leader Ryan?
I'd like to make a motion to pass this on a voice vote, item 9 on a voice vote.
Second, Madam President.
I would also like to take this opportunity, Madam President, if I may, basically to recognize the hard work that you have done on this topic. I think this is really in response to the 2020 status report on hunger that was recently issued by the Rhode Island Community Food Bank. Quite honestly, it put forth four really significant, if not alarming, findings. 1 in 4 households in Rhode Island lacks adequate food. Underlying medical conditions that increase the risk of severe illness from COVID-19 are prevalent among food insecure Rhode Islanders. Demand for food assistance at member agencies of the food bank grew by 26% in the wake of the pandemic. Government aid is critical to protecting vulnerable families from hunger. So this resolution, sponsored by many of our colleagues, is all about addressing hunger in our community. You recognize, Council President, at an early, very early on, that the need was great, and we needed to take a role in providing immediate and direct assistance to families in need. I'd like to commend you for doing that. You reached out to George Ortiz Jr., founder and CEO of the Elijah Project. You worked with him to coordinate deliveries of food to our communities. And through that partnership, the council hosted 24 distribution events across the city. We were able to provide 816,000 pounds of culturally appropriate, nutritious meals for the equivalent of 680,000 meals to our most vulnerable residents. We owe a debt of gratitude to Mr. Ortiz for his work on this. We thank him from the bottom of our heart. I think it made a huge impact, and I understand he's with us at our meeting tonight. So I'd like to recognize his presence among us, and on behalf of the City Council, I'd like to commend him for his hard work, as well as you, Council President, for taking a lead on this important topic.
Thank you, Leader Ryan. I have Councilman Goncalves waiting, and then I have Councilwoman LaFortune next.
Madam Chair, I want to thank you for your leadership on this resolution, and also thank Leader Ryan for her words and for elevating this important matter of food insecurity in our city. Obviously, for those who read the report, COVID has exacerbated food insecurity in the city, but also already existing health and racial and economic disparities. And in the richest country in the world, no one should have to go hungry. And I think this council body is well equipped to fight for those folks. And I want to thank you all for advocating and urging for increased funding to address food insecurity, and also urging that our federal delegation do everything in their power to pass another COVID relief bill that would provide critical assistance needed to address widespread hunger in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman LaFortune.
Thank you. Again, I want to echo leaders' comments, and to also thank Mr. Ortiz for the work that he's done. I had the pleasure of speaking to him over the phone, and he's doing some remarkable work. And thank you for the work that you have done and the many council members. I also want to just also highlight some of the other organizations, because food insecurity is a critical issue throughout our nation. In a city like this, where the median income household for our residents is less than $40,000 per year. Most of our households are cost burdened. And now with this pandemic, people are losing their jobs. Just putting a meal on the table has been a challenge. And I also want to thank the work of Higher Ground International that has distributed food. I've had the pleasure and opportunity throughout the pandemic to be able to deliver food and other folks to residents, and not just elderly people, but families across the city. Also within my ward, Camp Street Ministries and the Mount Hope Community Center and House Summit Neighborhood Association, the community, Mount Hope, Camp Street, all of us, we came together at the beginning of the pandemic to create a plan and to ensure that, you know, our most vulnerable community members have food. African Alliance, Sankofa, West Elmwood, all these organizations, and there's so many more that have just really come up with, you know, strategic plans to address this concern. I also want to remind us that, food insecurity is something that's not going to go away tomorrow. And as we continue to weather this pandemic, for us to think about how we can address this issue by investing in programs and initiatives to ensure that every family can have access to food, can have access to adequate as well as quality food, because there's a correlation between food, health, education, and we don't need anyone within our communities going hungry. So I thank everyone, including you and all the organizations that continue to do the work, and just to continue to do it. But we also have to push our state and our federal legislators to put the dollars in food insecurity initiatives to ensure that this is no longer a problem within our communities. So thank you.
Council President, I think your phone was, or your audio was muted.
Okay. I'm calling for Councilman Taylor next. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry.
Thanks.
President Matos, I'd like to also thank you and thank the leader for reaching out and thanking George. And I'd also like to thank Sal, because he was also involved in all the Elijah people that we were out there in the rain. As you remember, President Pro Tem, we were out there in the rain, the cold weather and the warm weather. And I'd like to thank George, Sal, and the whole people from Elijah Project for what they did this year. And I'd also like to thank the Providence Rescue Mission, Sean and Lewis, who are in my ward, that also supply over 3,000 people a week for food. And also, they are also, which I didn't realize, they were also helped out by the Elijah Project. They, George and Sal are always dropping food off to them every week too. So I appreciate George and Sal for everything they do, Council President, for everything you've done on this, and also the people from the Providence Rescue Mission, including Sean and Lewis. Thank you.
Thank you. Have Councilman Espinal next.
Yes, thank you, Madam President, Leader Ryan, and all the folks involved, with especially with the Elijah Project, Mr. George Ortiz. On behalf of my constituents, you were down in my ward, and many people were fed that day, and they are very thankful. I thank you personally for putting this resolution together, Madam President, and everything you've done in this effort. No one should be insecure. Everyone should be assured that they have a meal the next day. And the Elijah Project is actually putting that feeling and those words into action. They actually begun doing that. And how they do it is just unbelievable. And that hundreds of thousands of pounds of food that they put out there to the public is just something admirable. So to the Elijah Project, thank you so much to you, Madam President. Leader Ryan, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilman. So thank you to George Ortiz and the Elijah Project for the partnership. And also, I think we also have to thank and recognize the staff of the City Council for coming out at any date in volunteering, in not complaining. I didn't hear from anyone, this is not what I signed up for. So thank you for your dedication also. So
Madam President,
yes,
Madam President, if I could
Ryan?
just kind of wrap this up. This is an important topic, and so many people have worked on it, as you just aptly stated. But we have done heroic efforts. We've made heroic efforts. All of our partners have worked diligently. Many of my council colleagues have mentioned some by name. However, we need a COVID relief bill passed in Washington without delay, and that is truly what this resolution is all about. We need federal relief, and we need it now. The United States Senate has had the opportunity to pass a $2.2 trillion HEROES Act since May and has failed to do so. The stimulus package that my colleagues and I call for in this resolution will not just help those facing food insecurities, but it will also address the nearly 20 million renters at risk of losing their homes. It has been 8 months since the Senate and the House passed the CARES Act, and it is time to put country over party and protect our most vulnerable residents. And again, we're all working, we're all doing, we're doing the best we can with the resources we have at a local level. And everyone has stepped up to the plate and put their own health at risk in many instances. But we need funds. We need federal and state funds, and we need them now, because this is unacceptable in our country, in our state, and certainly in our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Ryan. So the motion has been made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it.
Item number 10, a resolution recognizing and congratulating Secretary of State Gorbea, the Rhode Island Board of Elections, and the Providence Board of Canvassers for ensuring that every vote cast in Providence and Rhode Island was counted. This is sponsored by Councilman Goncalves, Correa, Councilwoman Anthony, Councilman Espinal, Councilwoman LaFortune, Councilman Salvatore, Councilwoman Ryan, Councilwoman Matos, and Councilwoman Harris. Are there any additional co-sponsors?
Madam President.
I see Chairman Igliosi's hands. Is it for co-sponsor, Chairman Igliosi? Okay, and Councilor Kerwin and Councilman
Castillo.
Goncalves' hands. Oh, Councilwoman Castillo. And I see Councilman Goncalves up. Is it for Councilman Goncalves? You're speaking on this item?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to speak very briefly on this matter, if I may.
Continue.
Sure. So, Madam Chair, members of the council, 2020 brought forth a very contentious national election. And despite the challenges of the pandemic, our Secretary of State, Nellie Gorbea, the Board of Elections, and our local Board of Canvassers have really been at the forefront of protecting democracy and the right to vote. I believe for over 500,000 Rhode Islanders, whether it was via mail or in person this election. And on the floor tonight with this resolution, I hope that we can collectively recognize and thank our Secretary of State, Nellie Gorbea, Executive Director Bob Raposa, and the Board of Elections and their staff, and all the volunteers, the poll workers, and all of those involved for their tireless around-the-clock work to ensure that everyone had the right to vote, and to also ensure that every vote cast in Providence and also in Rhode Island was counted in this election cycle. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any additional discussion? I would like also to echo the sentiment, Councilman Goncalves. I want to thank Madam Secretary Nellie Gorbea and the Board of Election and the Board of Canvassers for all the work that they did. With that, the motion has been made and second. In favor?
I'm not sure if I heard a motion or a second.
Didn't make the motion.
Could you
Sorry.
be made?
Oh, sorry. I thought
That's okay. We got caught
Leader
up.
Ryan.
That's okay. Motion to pass item 10 on a voice vote.
Second, Madam. Second.
Motion now has been made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Item 11, a resolution regarding the downtown Providence overdose hotspot assessment and plan, sponsored by Councilman Goncalves, Correa, Councilwoman Anthony, Councilman Espinal, Councilwoman LaFortune, Councilman Salvatore, Councilwoman Ryan, Councilwoman Matos.
Madam President,
Leader Ryan.
I would like to make a motion at this time to amend the resolution before us to insert the words published a report titled Downtown Providence Overdose Hotspot Assessment and Plan after the word health in the first whereas clause, and pass this resolution as amended on a voice vote.
Second that motion.
The motion has been made and second to amend the item number 11 as stated by Leader Ryan. And this item is going to be passed on a voice vote as amended. I noticed some hands up. I'm just going to go in order. Councilwoman Castillo, do you want to speak on this item?
No.
Okay, all right. Next, I have Councilman Goncalves. Then after, I have Councilor Kerwin. Councilman Goncalves?
Sure. Thanks, Madam President, the opioid overdose crisis is a serious national and local crisis. And in October, I believe, the Rhode Island Public Health Institute, in collaboration with the Healthy Communities Office, released this report that indicated that Providence, in fact, had the highest percentage of opioid overdose related emergency department visits. And according to the report, a high percentage of overdoses in the city occurred in public settings such as streets, parks, and parking lots, particularly in 3 overdose hotspot neighborhoods, including downtown, Onlyville, and the West End. And the most people experiencing overdose were between the ages of 25 and 44. And in 2018, if my memory serves me well, Rhode Island ranked 11th in fatal overdoses in the country, with Providence being disproportionately impacted by high rates of overdose. And that's only been exacerbated by the pandemic. So people are dying, and we have to do something. And this report lays out clearly the evidence-based interventions that need to be taken in our city. And this resolution essentially reaffirms our acknowledgement of this important study and our commitment as a council body to tackle the public health crisis of drug overdoses in the city, and ultimately to help people and give them the support that they deserve. So I really appreciate everyone's support on this resolution. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Next, I have Councilor Kerwin.
I just wanted to ask to co-sponsor.
Mr. Clerk. Thank you. So the motion has been made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, I have it.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask, Councilwoman Castillo had her hand raised and she didn't want to speak, but did she want to be a co-sponsor?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Item 12, petition from Wayne M. Kazarian, Esquire, care of Paolino Properties, 100 Westminster Street, Providence, Rhode Island, 02903, on behalf of 21 Peace Street LLC and Urban Land Development LLC, requesting to change the official zoning map for certain lots on Wesleyan Avenue, Plenty Street, Peace Street, Whitmarsh Street, and Broad Street as listed from I-1 to C-2 with I-3E overlay. Plat 44, lots 286, 287, 288, 289, 290, 291, 292, 294, 730, 268, 267, 266, 264, 263, 261, 205, 258, 135, 259, 150, 256, 265, 257, 711, 719, 255, 254, 253, 252, 249, 242, and 247. From R2 with HD overlay to C2 with HD and I3E overlays. Plat 44, lots 234, 233, 240, and 241. And finally, from C1 with HD to C2 with HD I3E overlay, plat 44, lots 273 and 722.
Refer to the Committee on Ordinance.
Item 13, petition from Sal Compagnone requesting a zone change for the property located on Assessor's Plat 97, Lot 902, 846 Charles Street from R2 to C3.
Refer to the Committee on Ordinance.
Item 14, communications and reports. Communication from Ricky Carullo, City General Manager, Providence Water, submitting Providence Water's 2019 annual report.
Receive.
Item 15, communication from Natalie Lopes, Director, First Source Providence, submitting the First Source Director report for the period of July 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2020.
Receive.
Item 16, communication from Scott Wolf, Executive Director, Grow Smart RI, 144 Westminster Street, Suite 303, Providence, Rhode Island, 02903, dated November 21st, 2020, submitting the population growth study.
Madam President,
Leader Ryan.
may I just take this opportunity to thank Scott Wolf and the Grow Smart team for their hard work on this report, this study. As all of you know, Grow Smart Rhode Island provides statewide leadership for diverse public and private interests seeking sustainable and equitable growth. They promote such growth by advocating for compact development and revitalized urban town and village centers, balanced with responsible stewardship of our region's national assets, farmlands, forest, coastline, and the bay. They inform leaders, decision makers, and concerned citizens about the many benefits of compact development and asset stewardship, and provide research and training on proven smart growth strategies. To that end, I just wanted to advise my council colleagues or our council colleagues that the council president has asked Grow Smart to join us for a special meeting of the city council as a whole, scheduled on January 21st at 4:30 to present this report and brief us on their fine work. That's also my birthday, so I hope everyone is in attendance.
We'll bring a cake.
I'll make sure a fire truck's standing by for the candles.
Okay.
Oh, God. Wow.
No Christmas present for you.
No. Cole.
Cole. Thank you,
trying to
Madam
help.
President.
Thank you, Leader Ryan. Item number 16 is received.
Item 17, communication from Caleb T. Horton, City Archivist, dated November 30th, 2020, pursuant to Ordinance 2020-36, number 349, is this day appointing Ray Rickman of 11 Barnes Street, Providence, Rhode Island, 02906, to the Special Committee on Commemorative Works.
Received.
Presentation of resolutions and congratulations. Item 18, Council President Matos and members of the City Council, resolution extending congratulations.
Madam President, motion to pass item 18 on a voice vote.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Madam President.
Motion has made a second to pass item 18 on a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Madam President,
Leader Ryan.
motion to adjourn tonight's meeting in memory of Shirley Narducci, the mother of our colleague, Councilman Nicholas Narducci, who passed away this week. On behalf of the entire council, I offer our most sincere condolences to the family and friends of Mrs. Narducci.
Second, Madam President.
Thank you. Motion has been a second for us to adjourn tonight in memory of Shirley Narducci, and our condolences goes to the whole Narducci family and our colleague. All those in favor?
Aye.
Madam President,
Ryan.
Madam President, just a reminder, we have the special committee for the observation of Christmas Day committee scheduled upon the rise. Calling Chairman Igliozzi, Deputy Leader Harris, Council President Matos, Pro Tem Correa, and myself to that meeting.
Thank you, Leader Ryan. Thank you. We're adjourned.